darkness. Heart of darkness. That means in the center we see something dark. That is the justification of the title. And the very title says that we are going to have something dark, very dark. And that is the heart of darkness. Actually, this was published in Blackwood magazine. That means Heart of Darkness tells a story, and that story is first published in a magazine, and the name of the magazine is Blackwood magazine in 1899, and then it was eventually published as a whole in a novella format in 1902 as the third work in a volume of Conrad, and that volume is called, the title of the volume is called ENG. So I have said that heart of darkness, that means before starting the text, we have some sensation that we are ready to accept something very severe, very serious. Okay, that is the indication, and naturally the title of a literary work is titled in such a way that the title will be telling the main story, number one, or the title can also be presented the protagonist character, like Iliad, Odyssey, like that. Okay, Hamlet, Macbeth, that are the titles. That means that title is taken according to the category. That is, title will be the name of the protagonist. Another way, title will be dealing with the central issue. Here, the protagonist's name is not present. What is the issue? Heart of darkness. That means the title says that we are expecting something horror. Now what subconsciously came in my mind? Actually, this word horror had a special significance in terms of this novel, Heart of Darkness. Let's move. In the publication of York, when York was published, actually that after the publication, many critics commented about these publications, about Joseph Conrad. And especially the reader and the critic are not accept the way Joseph Conrad has presented his idea in this novella. And because there is a word over here, horror. Horror is the word, and the last portion of the novella we will be getting this word horror. Joseph Conrad didn't explain the word horror in his own perspectives. What does horror mean? And for this reason, Joseph Conrad himself said there is a fogginess, there is a ambiguity in this novella. And for this reason, many critics criticized this novella vehemently. And among the critics have regarded Heart of Darkness as a work several important ways that broke the narrative convention. One way, the critic commented that naturally a novel will be starting with the help of a narrator. But in this novella, we will have a different way. That means a story within a story we will be seeing in this novella. So in this perspective, Joseph Conrad started a new technique of writing novella. For this reason, critics praised Joseph Conrad, one portion. And another portion is that, especially E.M. Forster. We have a novel. E.M. Forster actually disparaged this writing novella. Why disparage? Disparage means অপমানিত করা. কেন করেছিলেন? According to E.M. Forster, that means what actually happened in Congo, that means in the novella we will be having the story of a colonized country, and the colonized country is Congo, an African country. And what happened at the time of 1902, 1902 সালে কঙ্গোতে colonized country দ্বারা colonizer country দ্বারা কি ঘটেছিল, এই ঘটনাগুলোর পুঙ্খানুপুঙ্খানু বর্ণনা এই নভেলে নেই. For this reason, E.M. Foster disparaged this novella. So what was actually there? And what is actually written in this very novella, Heart of Darkness? Another critic, you have heard his name, that is African novelist JnU. JnU derided, উপহাস করা. So what he has written, Joseph Conrad, what he has written in this novella. But these are the existing way that the writer E.M. Foster and JnU commented on Joseph Conrad's very famous novella Heart of Darkness. Joseph Conrad is famous for writing this novella Heart of Darkness. But why Joseph Conrad's novella Heart of Darkness are getting so many negative comments, especially from E.M. Foster and JnU? Let's have a look. We have to go back just to the history about that. Why E.M. Foster and JnU commented negatively about Heart of Darkness. We know the history of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus discovered America in which year? 1492. Before 1492, in human brain, this idea was absent that there is a vast continent named America. At the same time, it was not possible for the voyager or the explorer to start from Europe and went to America. So one condition, a vast continent was there that was out of human brain. Of course, there had been some Red Indian living in American continent. They had been there. They were out of touch of human civilization. But after the discovery, people understood. People, that means people all over the world understood that there is a vast continent lying over there named America. One point. Another point is that America at that time was only inhabited by the Red Indians. So the number of people was less. But the treasure, the economy, the prospect, the gold and the other things that are affluent in American continent. So the American discovery was absent in one way, and another way that country was full with several resources that was also absent. This was followed by another discovery. Vasco da Gama, he first 1497, just after 5 years, he first time went to Africa, and next time in 1498 he discovered the waterways from Europe to Indian subcontinent. So before that, in which way the people of this universe were not moving these ways. They were not able to go to India. They were not able to go to America. When this discovery was happened, have you seen? And this is the map of Europe. And Germany, France, Spain, Belgium, UK, Poland, they are the sea voyaging country. When they got that we can go directly from UK or the European countries to the other parts of the world with the help of this discovery, that means the waterways. So they were voyager in one hand and they were technologically advanced in another hand. Okay, so all they thought that we will be exploring, I will be taking your question next time. We will be exploring the all parts of this world. In which sense? Another two senses were there. That is, the unexplored part of this world might be uncivilized. They are not improved in several ways. For this reason, we, that means the people of Europe, they thought that we are technologically advanced, we are economically advanced, and for this reason, it is our duty to uplift the uncivilized person to a civilized generation. That is the otherness in post-colonial theory. Post-colonial theory, that means the European sea-voyaging country, Poland, Belgium, Dutch, Netherlands, they have been thinking, UK as well, they have been thinking that they are the greatest of the civilization. And other than that, other people economically, in knowledge or other perspectives, they are less important and they are less civilized. So it is their duty, that means the white man's burden. They have taken this burden as their responsibility to upgrade the position of the black people or the people living in the other parts, Africa area. It is their duty. That is called the otherness in post-colonial. Okay, so they started to move here and there. In this juncture, one incident happened. This man, King Leopold II. King Leopold what is his name? Leopold II. Leopold II through a Leopold II, who is he? Leopold II established Belgium as a colonial power in Africa. Leopold II was the son of Leopold I in Belgium. Okay, and this man is famous after getting that discovery that there are many unexplored parts of this world, and this world can be explored and they can be benefited. Okay, and this Leopold succeeded his father, that means Leopold II. He became the king of Belgian throne in 1865 and reigned for 44 years until his death. Okay. The longest reign of the Belgian monarch to date, and he died without surviving a legitimate son. This Leopold II, he was interested to rule that country, Congo. Okay. And at that time, Leopold II established Belgium as a colonial power in Africa. And he is known for this. And why? Actually, it is common that one country will become colonized other countries. So why Congo and why Leopold II is famous? Leopold II was famous for his atrocities in Congo. And widespread atrocities and were carried out under his rule, as a result of which as many as 10 million people died in Congo free. How many? 1 million equal to how many lives? So 10 million equal to? Actually, this man, the distance between Belgium and Congo, what is the difference? 6,280 kilometers. Fantastically enough, this man, Leopold II, he didn't go to Congo in his reign. He put several authorities in Congo and Africa to purchase two things. One thing, ivory. Ivory is the tongue, elephant's tongue, hatir দাঁত. Okay, and আমি জানি না হাতির দাঁতের এত কি মূল্য, but at the time, with the help of this elephant teeth, there are several kinds of ornaments were there, and that was, you have seen this picture in that that. And another important thing is that they would collect rubber. So Congo, Africa was famous for, as I have said, that American continent and the Africa and the other unexplored part. In one condition they are uncivilized, in another condition these countries are full of resources. So in one hand they had a target, that means European colonial power has a target to civilize them, but under the civilizing mission they had another intention. What is the intention? To collect the resource. What are the resource? Like ivory and rubber. That was the intention of Leopold II. So Leopold II wanted to collect all the ivory and rubber from, and how, in which way he did it in such a way that he had been putting several authorities in Congo. One of the authority in this novella, we will be giving his name is Kart. K-U-R-T-A. What is Kart? Kart. And what did Kart do? Actually, these atrocities, Congo was attracted by, Congo was a perfect colony for Leopold II for several reasons. I have said several reasons. First thing is that ivory and rubber were plentiful and could be systematically gathered and shipped in Europe. Second reason, the only law there was Leopold's law. That means Leopold become the demigod over here. What Leopold will say, that rule will be implemented in Congo. Although he constantly presented himself to his European contemporaries as a philanthropist. Philanthropist, what does this word mean? The person who loves people. The person who loves a human being. Okay, that means philanthropist who will be working for the betterment of human being. Okay, so Leopold was known to all European countries that he is a philanthropist. But under the guide of his philanthropist title, he had been doing atrocious activities in Congo. So the second reason, that means Leopold. And Leopold ran the Congo from a distance with an iron hand. Second reason. And the third reason is that labor was plentiful. Why? So many companies are coming to invest in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, you are getting labor very cheaply. Okay, in European countries, they pay wages by hour. In every hour, at present, they have to pay 10 pounds. 10 pounds is equal to 1 pound is equal to 120 taka. Okay, so 10 pounds. So they have to pay this, and it's for all. But in case of Bangladesh, we are getting labor very cheap. So that was another reason for the Leopold for occupying Congo. That is, the labor is plentiful, number many, and more important to Leopold, free. The labor are cheap. Free means, that means they have to pay a few wages that can be counted, and in this regard they are free. And because his agent, whose agent? Leopold II agent routinely forced the Congolese into slave labor. Okay, and by means of torture and intimidation. Okay, and women, for example, were often kidnapped and held until their husbands and sons gathered sufficient quantities of rubber. Women are held by the agent, and they said that yes, they will be released if your husband or your relative can pay more rubber. So that is the third reason, that labor is plentiful and cheap, at least it can be called free. So that was the third reason. Fourth, there was few operating expenses. That means Leopard was doing something in Congo and the expense is less. In case of Dhaka city, if anybody put a garment for tower, one tower can cover how many million people? And if that garment phone tower is put in Canada, okay, 1,000, putting 1,000 towers, so many people will not be covered. And for this reason, Bangladesh, the people of Bangladesh is a blessings for many countries. Okay, and for this reason they are investing this way. Okay, that is the situation. So that was the operating causes are very less. Huts and mess hall were constructed for the agent, and the construction of the railroad system running through the Congo guaranteed that supplies could reach different stations quickly. One challenge was there. That means they had been collecting rubber and ivory, and that huge number of rubber and ivory had to be taken from one place to another, and for this reason they had to establish the railways. That was only expense. Other than the agent had been living in small hut, that is the cost. Labor cost, no cost. And for this reason, and finally, the colony was thousands of miles away from the sheltered European skies, and the people could not condemn what they could not see. Okay, so Leopold the second, where he was living? He was living in Belgium. Okay, and the people were getting so much cruelty in Congo, they can't say anything to Leopold because Leopold is far away, 8,282 kilometers away from Congo. So the people of Congo had been suffering so many torture, so many atrocities, so many cruelties by the agent applied by Leopold II, but the people can't do anything because they can't show their condemn, they can't show. The people of Congo, they can't show their hatred towards the Leopold II because Leopold II is very. Okay, and how? For this reason, Congo was. Leopold agents therefore comprised a chaotic, unforgiving and hateful force determined only to make the most money possible by exploiting the natives. So agent had been doing in Europe. Leopold II had been telling that we are doing something philanthropist activities, humanitarian activities, but under the guise of these philanthropic activities, his agent had been exploiting the natives of Congo very cruelly, and often whipping with a piece of sun-dried hippopotamus hide called choiti. If anybody makes some mistakes, if Congo people make a mistakes, they were beaten with this. That way you see that this is a whip, and the whip, it is that whip is a special kind of whip. That is, one portion will be made of, that means a long knotted whip with a wooden handle, formerly used to as a punishment to the Congo and Portuguese Africa. And with this way, I have seen the pictures, the natives were tied as animals, and they were forced to do the activities what the agent, that means the European agent, wanted to be done by them. And if they made a mistake, they were whipped by this chikoti, you can say, chikoti. That is the horror situation in the recent study of Congo. King's leopard ghost in the historian Adam Hochschild estimated that during the period of leopard's pillage of the Congo, the population dropped by 10 million. So that is the pitiable condition of Congo at the time of Belgian rule in Congo. Okay. Disease was there. There was no remedy among the people of Congo. Starvation, a low birth rate. If you do not have nutritious food, they can't give birth child. So the low birth rate, outright murder, that means murder with the click of the eye, with the snap of the toys, they would murder the native. Outright murder. And combined to turn Congo into what Heart of Darkness later portrayed as a nightmare. Okay. So when the colonial country, the Belgian government were there in Congo, it was the nightmare to all Congo people. Anybody who don't know when he will be killed. What will happen tomorrow, anybody who don't know. They would starve. They had been doing several activities without any reward, without any food, without any nutritious food, let alone the nutritious food, without the food. That was the situation. And some observers of the atrocities commented that such as D.E.D. Morel and some Roger Casement became noted anti-leopard activities and launched semi-successful campaigns to end Leopold's rule. And other observation transformed that what saw into art, as did Joseph Conrad when he wrote The Heart of Darkness. Okay, so that was the condition in Congo. We have got the idea. Okay, and Crutch or Kars, you can pronounce this in such a way. One of the agents in Congo, his name is Kars, K-U-R-T-Z, Kars or Kurs. So many people call this character Kars. Kars, the first-class agent in the Heart of Darkness, and who commit numerous acts of slavery, including the placing of rebel heads upon the post of the surrounding his heart. Most probably you can get this picture over here. No, it is not here. So Kars was an agent, and that agent was so cruel that if anybody denied to follow the order of Kars, the person was beheaded and the head was put on a stick in the boundary of Kars' house. Okay. And Kars, he had been in the inner station, that means from the coastal part, some 300 miles into the Congo forest, Congo river and Congo forest. Congo forest is a forest, and through the forest there is a river just like snake, and in that deeper part Kars had been living. And Kars was a very good person when he had been living in UK. When he came to this Congo, he became one of the main agents who had been accumulating so many idols. Okay? And in this collecting mission, he would indiscriminately kill the Congo people without any mercy, without any pity. So the humanitarian people, the people, Kars had a fiancé in UK, lived the fiancé. Kars was an orator. He could deliver speech very frequently. But whenever he came to Congo, he became as a monster to the people of Congo. So living from UK, he has came here and become an animal. So human greed is also a theme of this novel as well. So atrocities, the colonial perspective is one way, and how the man from a civilized society can be a man of greed, and how the greed of human being may turn a human being into a savage animal or savage mentality. That is the example of Kars. So, and for this reason, the horror What does horror mean? What I am explaining, that is my explanation after reading. But Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad didn't explain the horror. What does the horror mean? Because at the time of dying situation, the word was uttered by this agent. What is his name? Okay. So horror can be explained that human greed. Horror can be explained the deterioration of human civil notions and the result of human greed. That can be explained. So and that was the situation of cars in Congo. As Marlowe tells his audience on board the Nelly, that means at the beginning of the novella, we will see a boat, a steamboat. Its name was Nelly. And in the blinding sunshine of that land, I would become acquainted with a flabby, pretending wit-eyed devil of the rapacious and pitiless folly. So the curse had been described as a weak-eyed devil of a rapacious and pitiless folly. That is the negative all characters combination that can be called curse. Curse is the central character that we will see in this novella, Heart of Darkness. So who is Curse? Curse is an agent of Belgian government, Leopard II, and he is working in the central station in Congo, and he had been collecting so many rubber and ivory. But under this he was the devil in this context, in this greed and the motivated Leopard to continue the systematic ravaging the Congo and its people for more than 20 years. So that situation was described in this novella, Heart of Darkness. So in one point, the atrocities, the savageries and the cruel activities done by the agent in Congo at the time of Leopard II role, that was less in this novella, Heart of Darkness. And for this reason, E.M. Foster hated this writing and JnU disparaged this writing, E.M. Foster. So Heart of Darkness is a novel where we will have seen the colonials, the effect of imperialism in the last part of 18th and 19th century, first half of the 19th century, and under the guidance or under the shadow of philanthropists or human activities, the European people or European colonized country, what did they do? This is an example. But the critic said that actually Heart of Darkness told the story, but not in its full way what happened in Congo. And for this reason, E.M. Foster and JnU criticized Heart of Darkness. Okay, so this is the novel in